What is up, my friends? And your weekend has now officially started. You are very welcome along to Friday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Today, we're going to be giving you two different stories about Mohamed Salah. We're going to be giving you the very latest from Arne Slot's press conference ahead of the game against Chelsea this Sunday. And we're going to be saying who is the new Di Maria that Liverpool are apparently keeping tabs on over in Argentina. That and lots more over the next 8 to 10 minutes, but you know the drill. I'm going to talk, but I want to know your thoughts, so do let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and most importantly, my friends, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, a preview for the Chelsea game came out earlier on this morning, so if you haven't, please do give it a watch and let me know your thoughts on my score prediction and starting 11 prediction. But until later on this evening when we are back live, let's get stuck into it. So, the Daily Mirror have said that Liverpool have received a huge boost with Mohamed Salah potentially not needed for Egypt during the next international break. Obviously, they're in AFCON qualifying and they're going to top that group with the wins that they've had over Mauritania, home and away, and they're unbeaten in the group so far. So, I think that's what this piece is alluding to, that maybe for the November international break that we do have coming up, believe it or not, in about 3 weeks' time, we might not have to send Mo over. He might be able to stay behind, recuperate, rest, and prepare for the rest of the season. Unfortunately, that's where the good news today around Mohamed Salah ends, but I'll move on to that other story in a few minutes' time. Now, don't be worrying, it's nothing about a definitive anything, it's just a link to a move away. I'll get onto it in a couple of moments' time. Until then, let's get up to the next story, and it's Slot on Conor Bradley. Speaking, now, I'm intrigued by this, by the way. I'm going to read out what he had to say, but then I want to get your thoughts on one particular part of it. So, Arne Slot said this in his presser today. Around Conor Bradley, he said he's got a bright future, a very good player, and that is what we need here. He's done last season really well when he replaced Trent. Trent has played a lot, but Conor is a good player. Normally, they find their way into the team. I expect that in the future of this club. Now, two ways to look at this, I guess. The obvious way, and potentially the correct way, to say that he's just talking about Conor Bradley progressing through the ranks, and when he's needed, he'll be called upon and think that he can do a fine job. Or is it just preparing the landscape if Trent does leave to say, well, look, we have this kid here. He's really good. If Trent moves on, then Conor will get more minutes. Or if Trent lets the world know he's moving on, as an example, maybe we start to see more of Conor Bradley as Arne Slot prepares for life without Trent. Now, as I say, we don't know what's going on with Trent. We're a bit more hopeful after a chat with David Lynch yesterday, but I wanted to get your thoughts on, am I reading too much into this? And I may well be, because of course, we're all on edge around the contracts right now, but I want to know your thoughts on that from the gaffer. Next up, he was speaking about Virgil van Dijk, and of course, some of the criticism that Virgil has come in for from the Dutch media. This is what he's had to say on Virgil. He's been crucial for us from what you guys see on the pitch. We all see how good he is still and how he communicates to our defensive style and offensive style. What you guys don't see is the important and how important he is in sessions. He's loud, he brings quality to it. What you see at the weekend, I see week in and week out. If you're not from Holland, the criticism might be a surprise. But in Holland, the Dutch media is all about that I exaggerate a little bit, but they want any chance to criticise. So basically, Arne Slot is saying that he's used to this from his compatriots over in the Netherlands. We're probably not as used to it over here, particularly with some of the stuff I find the Dutch media moaning about. You know, we had the Ryan Gravenbergs up previously, but with Virgil van Dijk to in any way say that you weren't going to miss him, I thought was very foolish. But in fairness to Rafael van der Vaart, at least he did come out and say it was very clear that the Dutch missed Virgil van Dijk for that game against Germany. So, Arne Slot on Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is what he had to say. Why? He played well at left back. I only saw the free kick. Good players will always find a way into the team if they have good teammates, which is what Trent has at England. If you play Finland, Greece with respect, these quality players will play well. Although they lost to Greece, little side dig there from Arne. He's been good for us until now. He was still important when tackling, and I like the way he's defended too. He's made a big step up in that perspective, but like all others, there's room for improvement, that is clear. I think he's done well for us this season, the national team too. 3 times, 4 times man of the match. Let's hope he will be for us too. So again, he's just hoping that that good form that we feel Trent had with the English national team, he continues to carry into the season with Liverpool. But of course, he was also asked a dreaded question about the contracts, and as always with Arne Slot, and probably correctly, he batted it away. Now, a little bit on this with regards to Paris Saint-Germain and Mohamed Salah, and that is what the title of this video is about. A report from Spain today suggests that Paris Saint-Germain are now preparing to make an offer to Mohamed Salah should he decide that he doesn't want to stay at Liverpool. Now remember, Team Talk have said they think Virgil van Dijk and Trent will stay and that Mohamed Salah will go. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I've always believed this was the most difficult of all of them. But this piece here said, Luis Enrique, the manager of Paris Saint-Germain, has reportedly signed a contract extension according to La Parisienne, and he has made it clear to the club that bringing in Mohamed Salah is his top priority. Since losing Kylian Mbappe in the summer to Real Madrid, his side have been lacking goal threats, and Salah, who has scored 217 times in 359 games for Liverpool, would certainly solve this issue. Now, this concerns me for many reasons. The contract situation, of course, being one of them. But again, cast your mind back to that image that we all seen of Mohamed Salah and the president of Paris Saint-Germain having lunch together, I think after one of our games in London, maybe it was Brentford or somebody like that. And I said at the time it worried me, and I say now it worries me, because that relationship is there. They are close friends. And if Salah doesn't extend his contract at Liverpool, or at least if he gets towards the point where they can talk to him, I think we should be concerned, because we know Paris Saint-Germain will have a big pot of money there to offer Mo. And I'm not going to lie, this does concern me, because this is the club that I was expecting to come in for Mohamed Salah. Didn't really think Barca would have the money. Certainly don't think he's needed at Real Madrid. So if you look around Europe and think, if Mo wants to stay in Europe, where are his options? And unfortunately, Paris Saint-Germain is probably at the tip of most of our tongues in this circumstance. So we'll wait and see what happens with the club. But for me, I've always felt Mo was probably the least likely to get done for various factors. But again, I want to reiterate before anybody goes in on me, I want all three boys to be extended. Now, the last thing today is Liverpool linked with the new Angel Di Maria as Fernandes eyes Premier League move. So this piece here said from TBR Football, Liverpool's search for football stars may lead them to Argentina's Vélez Sarsfield, where 20-year-old Julian Fernandes has been making waves. Dubbed the new Angel Di Maria, Fernandes has piqued the interest of Liverpool's scouting department, who have already drawn comparisons between him and the iconic Argentinian winger. Iconic? I mean, maybe in Argentina, but certainly not in the Premier League anyway. But look, this is another one of those stories where Liverpool have been linked with a player from South America, but as of yet, we haven't really pulled the trigger to make any of these moves. We've been linked with some centre-backs over the last couple of seasons, a couple of wide players as well. And I don't know if there's anything to this or not, but I guess the reason I'm bringing that up is I want to know from anybody who may live in that part of the world or certainly watch Vélez Sarsfield or the Argentinian League, if this kid Julian Fernandes is any good, and if you think he has what it takes to maybe make it and succeed in the Premier League. So, my friends, that is it from me till this evening, where I will be back at 8:45 with the late night agenda. Don't forget, we're going to be starting at 3:15 p.m. on Sunday for a watch-along of the game against Chelsea, and we very much hope you can join us for it. You can still get your tickets for the Anfield Agenda live show, which is coming up in just 28 days over at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. You can get your tickets with the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you this evening. Much love. Bye-bye.